The latest, greatest technology is all fantastic in terms of making the game easier to play. But one thing we've got to be careful of as golfers is that we get the shaft in the golf club correct. We don't just fall for the marketing spin and buy the latest, greatest head and it makes a nice loud noise and it goes a million miles. It's got to go a million miles in the right direction. And a lot of people would talk about the shaft of the golf club being the engine of the golf club. And as we're swinging the golf club and we're turning back and through, we want to know that the shaft is delivering the club head to the ball in the best possible way to maximise performance and maximise results out here. So generally shafts will fall into a couple of different categories. Now we can look at the length of the shafts, we can look at the weight of the shafts, but the main priority for most golfers is to make sure they get the flex of the shaft correct. Now if we consider that shafts can be too soft, just right, or too stiff. It's like Goldilocks and the porridge, isn't it? Too hot, too cold, and just right in the middle. If a golf shaft is too soft, a golf will often feel like they're slightly out of control with it. It'll feel light, it'll feel fly away, it'll feel like you're swinging a stick of licorice and you won't feel like you've got enough control. And the net effect of that at the point of impact is often the ball will fly left and right without control. It'll often feel a little bit too high when you hit it, and actually for a lot of golfers consistently it'll fall down the left-hand side. The effect of the shaft is that the club head, the centre of gravity, tries to line up with the centre of the shaft on the way down as the centrifugal force pulls it in. That adds loft, aims the club face too far left, and you'll often see balls that set off down the middle and then have high drawing flights down the left-hand side if the shaft flex is not correct for you and it's too soft. And the exact opposite can happen if the shaft is too stiff. It will feel wooden, it will feel unpowerful, it will feel unresponsive, it will feel like it's not giving you anything at the point of impact. You can often feel that as you lag the shaft and you pull it down, the shaft doesn't release at the right point and the ball flight will be low and down the right hand side. So low and down the right hand side, too stiff, high and out the left hand side if it's too soft. I'd also say the too soft shaft will go left and right at times as you try and find a way to time it, but the too stiff shaft will generally just be low to the right and it will feel unresponsive. Now if you go for a proper custom fitting, the fitter should have different shaft options, changing the flex but also changing the weight. They should also then have the data backed up by a flight scope or a TrackMan or something of that nature to show you the effects of how the shaft is changing the spin, the characteristics and ultimately the distance and the accuracy of those golf shots. So consider how shaft flex is super important in choosing your next golf club.